राम राम भाइयों और बहनों, आपका स्वागत है मेरे चैनल वेक्टर रूट 3 पे। यहाँ पर आपको मिलेगी हर एक टॉपिक पर वीडियो और कोर्स, वो भी बिल्कुल फ्री में।
आपको ये कम करना होगा, हमारी वीडियो को पूरा देखना होगा और लाइक करना होगा और कमेंट करना होगा और हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना होगा ताकि आपको नई वीडियो सबसे पहले देख सके।
Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this brand new course of the Illustrator software, and we are going to deep dive into all important tools, their features, the property, and how we can use this software in such a way so that we can do better designs inside this one. Illustrator is industry's standard software, and if you have the clarity regarding all the tools and the possibilities with this to create the graphics, that will completely blow your mind. In the designing industry, especially the Illustrator is very, very important for you as a learner. You need to learn all the tools and their feature. This is the very first class, and I'm going to show you here about the interface, the options, and the workspace area, and how you can enable, disable the tools. You can manage your entire workspace according to your own requirement, step by step. So, when you open the Illustrator first time, you get this interface. This is the welcome screen. We can get some size of the page over here. By the way, we have options to define the size of the page according to our own requirement. Not only for the print media, but for digital media also we can create the content. If you want to design the logo, icons, if you want to create the character illustrations, the package designing, and the sceneries, so many possibilities are there in the Illustrator software. Here we can find some options in the top side. In top left corner, we have the logo of the company, that is Illustrator logo. And then after we have the file, edit, object, type, and so many other menu options are there. When you click to the one, you get many options inside these menus. So we are going to discuss about all important features that you need to know to become a good graphic designer in the upcoming sessions in detail. So make sure you guys can continue with the video and one by one and check all the important tools what we discussed here, practice at the same time. Want to create a new document, we can click to the new file, because when you have a document that is selected, then only you can start working, just like the Photoshop. If you know about the Photoshop, there we can start from the setup of the document. So the platform that we need to define first, what size we want. We are going to discuss about these features further. For now, close it. Open is the option through which you can click to this button and open your existing file if you have any created file previously. Okay. We can also go to the home option. So when you click to the home, we are in the home actually right now. But if you go to the any page, you can just come to the home directly. So for now, I'm going to select one random size of the page. When you click to the one, just wait for a few seconds to load, and then after we have the Illustrator is open. Maybe you get a different type of the screens and the tools and the features are completely different as compared to mine. Just because I use the tools that is important for me, you as a designer decide what tools that you need. So we can click to the tool and drag to the left side, the right side, or you can also minimize this one to the single, maximize it, or close the tool set. In the same way, we have the layers panel. We can also close this one. We get so many different tools and the set in the right side also for the panel. When you click to the one, that is going to pop up. Then after we have the properties, we have the libraries, and so many other options are in the top side. To manage the entire workspace area, we need to understand few concepts. Whatever the tools and the panel that you want to manage inside the Illustrator software, that you can enable from the window menu. These are the set of the tools and their features. Suppose you want to use the color, click to the color, that open. Not only this, but we can separate. When you click to the name, just hold the button of the mouse, drag and place where you want to set it. Want to change the size of this panel, we can click to the bottom corner, drag it. From here also you can change the size. You're not restricted with the one side only, but in the other side also you can do the change. We can then further click, that color is highlighted and selected. Minimize the panel, hold the button of the mouse, we can drag and drop and shift exactly over here. So the panel is also minimized. In the same way, if the tool sets that is by default in the left side is not visible in your computer, we can go to the toolbars. We get two different types of the tool, that is the basic tool and the advanced. By the way, we have options to create our own and manage our own tool set. The basic tools comes with the limited option. So if you are a designer that is using very specific tool, very limited tools actually for the basic designing, you can go with these tools. I'm not saying these tools are not important. Yes, these tools are very important for you. But if you want to explore all the important tools, you need to go with the advanced tool set, not the basics. So go to the window. We can come to the toolbars and thereafter choose the advanced. Click to this tool and then you can find so many new features are added in the tool set. You can also shift to the left or to the right side according to your own personal choice. If you see in most of the tools that we have in the bottom left corner, there is a very small icon that is in the shape of the triangle that indicate you we have some features and the tools are inside this. So when we click to this type tool, click and hold the button of the mouse. So with this way, you can get so many options inside this, like the type tool, area type tool, path, and so many other options are there. If you again go to the next tool set here, we can find the pen tool, add anchor point, delete anchor, and so many other options are there. If you click to the one, that tool is active. If you want to use the another tool, you can jump to the next tool. The previous one is deselected and the new one is active. So whenever we have any tool that is active, we can then after do the changes into the screen. Okay. If you want to back from the tool, you can use the selection tool. This is called the selection or the move tool. Click outside. We can come over here. Okay. So either you can say selection tool or the move tool. Shortcut is V. Inside designing softwares like the Illustrator, we have so many different shortcuts are there, and shortcut basically save your time and efforts. So we highly recommend you to go with the shortcuts all the time. Initially, you need to understand the tool. Then you can try to use the shortcuts in most of the time to save your time and efforts. We are going to discuss about each and every tool, whatever the tool that you see here in the upcoming sessions one by one. So click to the panel, hold the button of the mouse, and we can drag to the left side. So when the blue color is highlighted, you can left the button of the mouse that automatically snap to this area. Right now we have one size of the page is open. It's not like you can limit it with one single only. Even if you click to the tab, hold the button of the mouse, we can drag it. So with this way, you can separate your document. And if you want to use multiple set of the files, suppose you have requirement to copy the data, or maybe you can use one file for the reference, you can optimize it. So we can click, hold the button of the mouse, drag to the left side. So with this way, we can change the size of this particular panel. If you drag it and that is highlighted with the blue, that automatically snapped. Once again, click and drag to the bottom side. From here also, we can minimize the panel. Okay. Just click to the upside. From the bottom side also, we can change the size of this panel. Okay, like this is one example actually to optimize it. We have minimize, maximize, and close. Minimize is something that basically help you to minimize the existing document. In case if you have multiple set of the things are open, you can simply choose this. Once again, click to the taskbar area, and then after you can open that. To maximize, we can choose this one. So with this way, we can see the graphic is in the full screen. Okay, and if you want to close this, click to the close. And if you have any data is there in the screen, that may be a basic shape or the typical type of the graphic, you get this confirmation. Save changes to the Adobe Illustrator document. The name is untitled. So whenever the name is not defined, you can see the untitled. So we can, in this case, click on the yes. Yes, we want to save for the future reference. No, we don't want, or you want to cancel this. So click to the cancel. Again, minimize or maximize. And if you want to fit this with the workspace area, just click, hold the button of the mouse into the top side panel. And when the blue color is highlighted, you can left the button of the mouse. So with this way, the time is properly matched. And then after you can see we have the page is also there. Okay. We are using few shortcuts also to save our time, as I mentioned already. So zoom in, zoom out, left and the right that we can pan. So this is the option. You can use the slider up, down, up, down. But we can try to use the shortcuts also, as is the shortcut for the hand tool. Or we can click on this one so that we can pan the workspace area horizontally, vertically, anywhere. Okay, like this. Want to back from this tool? Go with the selection tool. Click outside to select. Okay. When you click to the shape, that is going to select. You can also click and change the position like this. Okay. Now, Maybe your screen options are something different from mine just because of the workspace which we are using. You can go to the window. One option we have to enable the tools one by one. Suppose you want to enable the layer panel, click to the layers, we get a separate panel. In the same way, we can go here and choose the brushes, click to enable the brushes option. So this is how you can manage from the tool set. Okay. But if you want to use the customized workspace which is given by the Illustrator by default, we can go to the window. Inside this, we have the workspace. I have selected Essential Classic. If you choose any other options from here, these are by default from automation to the web. I'm selecting the essentials. So when you have the selection of the essentials options, we get limited property of the tools and their panel feature. In the left side also, we have the basic set of the tools right now that is active, not the advanced one, because this is the basic tool set. In right side also, we can see we have the property is visible, but still we have the top side options are not visible. If you compare with the previous one, which we have already selected Essential Classic, when you enable this one, we have a separate panel in the top side that basically helps us to go with the feature instantly. If you click to select any one of the tool set, you get the options according to that on requirement. This will save your time and efforts because the tool set and the panel options is directly available here. Okay. In the same way, we use and explore the advanced tool set. For that reason, either you can active that one separately or directly choose the Workspace Essentials Classic. I recommend to use this one because most of the advanced tools that you can get inside this. But by mistake, if you separate any one of the panel or the tool set, you close that one. And then if you want to enable one more time, so one traditional options is to go with the window menu, and then further we can just try to find the options which is missing here in this list. So this is one option. You can also just go to the downside to explore more options, just like the property here we have, click to enable the property. But if you want to reset everything, the whole workspace, that you can reset to save your time. In this case, inside the window, click to the arrow, go to the upside, we have the workspace area. Essentials Classic is selected. If you want to reset it, reset Essentials Classic. When you click once, all the panel and the tools are going to reset, factory reset type of the options this is. In the same way, in case if you want to switch to any other workspace area, suppose I'm going to use the printing, click to active this one. These are predefined set of the workspace which is given by the Illustrator software by default in your interface. Once again, go to the window, workspace, and choose Essentials Classic. But if you want to create your own custom workspace area, you don't want to use all the tools which is given here by default in these. Okay. So in this case, we have options to choose the new workspace. I'm going to active those panel first, which is needed for my design requirements, and the unwanted tool set that we can simply separate and close. I'm going to continue with few setting options, just like the layer that is required in most of the designing cases. We can also choose the swatches for the color. Click to the panel, and then further you can change the size. This is one important feature actually. Frequently we can use. The another one that I use most of the time is the property, because property is the panel. Inside this, you get all the important features. So we can separate and then further arrange all these one by one in the tab. We can see these three options are active here. Other than that, I'm going to close the other options. These options are also important, but in a very specific case, we can use that one. Okay. So I'm just going to change the positions with this way. Right, like this property and the other options. Here I'm going to set it. And also I want to continue with the advanced tool set. So go to the toolbars, click to active the advanced. Right. So once you customize your workspace according to your own requirement, you can then further save that workspace for your future reference. So you no need to enable and disable and arrange all the options again and again to waste your time. You can simply create a new workspace according to the custom requirement. Go with the new workspace. And when you click to this option here, we can find the panel in which we have options to define the name of the workspace. My custom. Okay. I'm going to set this name my custom. Click on OK to confirm. So we have one set of the workspace is already defined. If you by mistake close any one of the options. Suppose this one is closed, or maybe the tool position is somewhere else. You want to reset everything. Go with the workspace and choose the reset my custom. If you click on that, instantly we get the reset of all the tool set and the features. So this will save your time a lot. In practically while designing the graphics, you just need to use sometimes these options. The another important thing is the interface color. Maybe your Illustrator color is not exactly the same, just like my dark theme based color. And want to optimize, go to the edit menu. Inside this, we have the preference. Preference is basically a kind of the setting. So whatever the changes that you want to customize in your Illustrator software, that you can manage from here directly. Okay. I'm going to choose the first option, general. See, this is a window PC. In case if you are using the Mac, command key that you can use instead of control when I say, and when I use the alt, you can use the option key. Rest options are just the same. So whenever I say control, CTRL, control, you can use the command. Okay. And I'm going to click here right now. We get so many different setting options that basically helps us to save our time. We can optimize the interface according to our on requirement, the whole UI that you can change accordingly. So we can go to the options, that is the option through which we can change the UI, user interface. So you can click to this tab, user interface. When you install the Illustrator first time, this is the shades of the color. Not exactly the dark, but the gray shades of the color is by default. Okay. But since we have options to change the color, we can do the changes according to our own interest. It's a very personalized option. Features are the same, only the color that gonna changed. So if you see the kind of the color, maybe you are using the PC of any other designer, maybe the color is the light. Don't think about the version that is different. No, this is the feature which is available in all the version of the Illustrator software. I personally like the dark shades of the color. For that reason, I'm choosing this one. Okay. So if you are a designer, such kind of the work you have to invest, or maybe you are sitting over there in your computer for long hours, we suggest to go with the dark shades of the color. Okay, why? Just because the light shades drain our eye. So simply choose the dark shades of color. This is my personal choice. It's completely your call, by the way. The canvas color is also the outside color of the page area. So we can see we have the gap that is called the canvas color. So you want to match the brightness, or you also choose the white color. If you choose the white color, here we have the white color is just outside the page. We can see clearly. So any one of the feature that you can choose, that may be blue or any other one, right? I'm selecting this one. This is shared button, a different concept. We are using that one further. And I'm just going to use the match brightness. The next important thing is the UI scaling. When we use the software, we have so many different purpose, right? Maybe we can use this one to showcase the work. Maybe we are presenting in front of someone in the big screen. And then in that case, especially, even if I record the sessions right now, that time I need to make all the tools and the features are visible properly. For that reason, I'm using the large all the time. So that even if someone is using the mobile phone or the iPad or anything else, they have clarity regarding the tools and the features. But by default, this one is a small. If you set the size is small, and if you have the tools and the features are very small, it's quite difficult for maybe you need to grab the attention properly. Okay. So it's completely your call. I personally suggest to go with the large because I have such kind of the work. For that reason, I'm choosing this, but it's your call. And when you click on OK to confirm, if you are changing the color right now, since I'm going to continue with the same shades of the color, I no need to restart the Illustrator software. But if you change the color, Illustrator always asks you to restart. Then automatically the Illustrator software closed and once again open with the new shades of the color which is selected by you. The another important settings that we can find in the set of the thing is when you click to the general, you get the options. Inside this, we have the user interface option. We have performance. Performance is also something very important. So make sure you can check always. The GPU, the graphic processing unit is selected or not for the better performance. This is important. In my laptop right now, there is a graphic card GeForce RTX 3050. Okay. So you can definitely consider this. By default, this one is active, but you need to check once again. Okay. If you go to the file handling also, here we have the automatically saved recovered data. So every 2 minutes, in just 2 minutes, the content is going to save. This will save your time in case if your system suddenly closed. So make sure you can active this. and check once again. For recovery, these options that is important, you can just enable all three. Turn off the data recovery complex, save in background, export in background. The another important thing is the recent file to display. I set this one to 0 for now, but yes, I always go with the 10 or 20. Why? Because when we have requirement to access the recent file, we get the list of the recent files. Since I'm creating the tutorial from the very basics, I set the value to 0. But usually I go with the 10 to 20 in between, okay? So if you set the value to the 20, that means 20 recent projects and the file that you can access directly with the option. We are going to discuss about this option further, okay? For now, leave it. In the same way, we have so many different features are there that we can enable and disable according to the requirement. Guides and the grids, these are the options we are going to explore further. We'll explain these options in the upcoming sessions. These are also very, very important feature, guys. We'll explore further. Okay. Come to the selection and anchor point. This one option is very important and I suggest you to always go with this. If you choose the size that is by default, like the very small size of the anchor points, handles and the bounding box that you get. Let me show you quickly. If I click on OK and when we click to any shape, we have the bounding box. Bounding box is the boundary that basically helps us to change the size of the graphic. So you can see the nodes are highlighted in all four corners along with the nodes inside. So the node or the anchor point, in general, we can use the anchor point term when you see in the corners or in center of the sides, we have the square small boxes are there. These are called the anchors, but we also called nodes. Both are same. So we can drag and select whatever that you have. You can drag and select, delete. For zoom in, zoom out, we use one shortcut, hold Alt from the keyboard, use the center wheel of the mouse. And if you are using the Mac, Option key plus center wheel of the mouse that you can use in this case. Zoom in, zoom out. Also, we can drag, pan left, right, horizontal, vertical. So use the space bar. Space bar is the shortcut to jump from the selection tool to the hand tool. So either you can press the H button for hand tool, and then after you can use the horizontal, vertical panning, or we can select the selection tool and then further use the space bar only. So if you are holding the space bar, then only you can use the hand tool. When you left the button of the space, again you back to the main tool, that is the selection tool. Alt, center wheel of the mouse, zoom in, zoom out. One more shortcut we have for the zoom in, zoom out, that is Control plus, Control minus. Control plus for zoom in, Control minus for zoom out. And if you fit the page to the screen, there is a shortcut called Control 0. Okay, fit to a screen. So these are very common and frequently shortcuts which is used by us while designing the content and working with the Illustrator software frequently. Okay, so this is something like this. We have so many features and the properties that we are going to explore one by one in the upcoming sessions. So this is only the basic introduction of the interface and the workspace UI of the Illustrator software. That's all for the session, guys. I hope you found this video useful. We'll move ahead with the next topic, how we can manage our document, what are the options we have inside this in the next upcoming session. So bye, take care. Thank you.